One of the biggest reasons why people enjoy playing Krunker so much is definitely the movement aspect of it and the complexity behind it. Kind of like how Fortnite has building, Krunker has movement. It didn't start out this way, but the developers quickly started to embrace the movement aspect of Krunker and actively started to add new features like slide control, curve sliding, and wall jumping. Since movement has become such a key aspect of the game, in this video I'll be breaking down the 4 levels of Krunker movement from noob to pro. For the pro segment, I've teamed up with Kid from the phil Parkour clan, one of the oldest clans in Krunker. I don't mean pro in like an esports sense, but more like someone that truly understands all the small details related to Krunker movement, and this video is about movement, obviously. We will be touching on their influence on the competitive scene and also how to apply these movement tactics in your game. Before we start, this video is sponsored by Krunker, so thank you so much to the Krunker team for supporting my channel. This video will be part tutorial, part Krunker facts, and gameplay analysis, and hopefully you'll learn something that you didn't know. So let's get started with level number 1. Imagine your first time playing Krunker, so a friend sends you a link. Maybe you're queuing up in Overwatch and you have to wait for 20 minutes. Seems pretty straightforward. WASD to move, spacebar to jump. You quickly get a few kills and think that you're a pro at the game. I know that I certainly did. And maybe just by accident or from the sound of the footsteps, you realize that it's actually faster to move diagonally. So WA or WD, holding those keys at the same time, allows you to perform a strafe. And a strafe is 1.2 times faster than walking normally. And you can see that value in custom game servers. As you set the game up, there's a strafe number. You keep on playing because maybe you want to earn some sick skins and realize that people are jumping around the map really quickly. You don't mind though because you feel like you could still beat them. Maybe you're thinking that you can just out-aim everyone. You keep on playing and there's a good chance that intuitively you're going to pick up how to do a bunny hop. This aspect of the game's physics may feel familiar to people coming from other games as well. And without even realizing it, you just learned 2 of the key building blocks of Krunker movement. You can get pretty far in this game without slide hopping at all. You can see that this type of player can actually move around the map fairly quickly. They'll soon realize that they're not really making themselves any harder to hit. So what's the next step for an absolute beginner? I think that they should learn the basic slide hop. Moving forward, jump, hold shift, release shift, jump again. And you'll see that a lot of players can now perform this because the inputs aren't particularly hard. So what's after the absolute beginner? It's level 2, the noob. And in the past, the noob would have been level 1, but things have changed now and the player base has generally gotten better. So level 2 is now the noob. Here's a level 2 player, someone that can perform basic slide hop. Just killed Strem, so he's feeling like really confident right now. Let's see how far basic slide hop can get this type of player. And even able to kind of curve the slide a bit, completely blindsided because Strems is able to just go around the corners so much faster. May have decent aim, but only relying on this one move. That's okay though, because everyone's got to start somewhere. So if you're in this level, first thing that you're going to want to do is learn how to do strafing. So you can see my key presses. And to get the most speed with it, you turn the opposite direction. Then you're going to want to learn various ways to control the direction. So the first is just simply changing your direction before you land. To keep it simple, I'll just hold the W key. And you can see I'm turning and being able to move around the map. The other way that you can adjust the direction is turning the mouse as you're landing. And I discovered this from a Reddit post by Kato a very long time ago. At this point, things definitely get a bit more nuanced because it's not like you need to learn a set number of moves before you take your game to the next level. Basically, any advanced player, so a level 3, should be able to move around the map quickly and fluidly, and also have an understanding of as many movement techniques as possible. And for that reason, I consider myself to be part of this category. My movement has never been the best part of my gameplay, and I did learn a lot in the process of researching this video. I'll be covering some of these advanced movement tricks, but in general, there's really just playstyle traits that separate the advanced player very clearly from the noob. And the first is differentiating between the full hop and the short hop. The first way to do this is simply by jumping while you're still holding shift in that slide. A lot of players already do this, but there's also another way, and that's utilizing the aim down sights mechanic to kind of slow yourself down, kind of like a break. And as long as you're holding aim down sights while you're jumping, you're going to jump a lot lower. To demonstrate a move that's used often in competitive play and even just regular lobbies It's a stutter step or a side step, and you can see the inputs on the screen. Again, drifting in the opposite direction that I'm turning. Now obviously you're going to want to be shooting, so if I'm aiming at the tree, just basically dragging the cursor back towards the center as I'm sidestepping. Know how to basically just slide hop around the map continuously while holding aim down sights. The inverse of that would be to jump higher than a short hop, actually even higher than a standard jump. And that's by performing a moon jump, which I learned about from Frosty Wolf's video. But it did take me a while to start incorporating this into my game, and I'm still learning how to best integrate it. I have found it to be extremely useful now. To demonstrate this, normally what you'd want to do is to jump right as you're releasing shift, and that way you get to keep your momentum. But with a moon jump, what you want to do instead is allow for the animation to complete. The stand-up animation. If done successfully, it does look different than a standard jump. And these are just the types of optimizations that the players of the Phil clan, the Phil Parkour clan, have been experimenting with definitely long before that I started playing. So it's always funny when people ask if I'm affiliated with Phil clan. So without further ado, here's Kid from Phil Parkour. I was wondering how you got started both with playing Krunker and also like specifically the Phil Parkour clan.
I started playing Krunker just because like a friend told me about the game, and then I played it for a couple months and I found B-Hop Games, and someone reached out to me who was in Phil. I helped start the YouTube channel, and for like the past month or so I've been the one running the whole show. I edit most of the videos, I record a lot of them too, but everyone else always pitches in. Phil definitely does have some kind of influence with all like routes and rollouts, because people look at that and it's something different. It's a bit faster way to move around the map sometimes, or a more creative route, or something unexpected. But as far as the comp scene goes for Phil, that's not really a thing. We have a comp team. We have a couple players who play competitively. There's
Players who like to do these like race type maps, and there are the other players who like prefer the parkour. You could explain some of the differences in technique.
The race maps and the run maps, where you just really need to go through it as fast as you can. The parkour, and it's usually a little more lenient. Like there's a lot of room for error, so it's more about just reacting quickly and moving as fast as you can. But in the parkour maps, it's more about planning your jumps and setting it up, knowing the techniques.
What are some common mistakes that you see people doing that's kind of holding back their ability to slide hop effectively?
Well, the mistakes is that they're probably not just doing it good enough. So you need to have really tight turns. So like around a 90-degree angle. It helps to move your mouse right before you land. This is more for optimization. You see how he flicks his mouse whenever he goes to jump? Just speeds you up just a little bit. He flicks it in one direction, then he flips back to like orient himself.
Walk me through some of the parts on how to do certain jumps.
All right, so you'll see, right? He just zooms through the map. He never stops. He's always just moving forward. Right, and that's important when you want to start doing parkour fast. You can just start to skip everything, which is kind of what Phil's kind of become known for, especially in like the lava run maps and all the run maps, is that they just skip everything. All right, this level shows the technique and how you're supposed to do these. So what he does here is he kind of like turns back in, right? So you can have more time to land back on the block. Keeps his momentum off of the ramp. You can see there's a ledge right there at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's what he lands on. This part's interesting too. You can only land on the sides of these. You need a lot of momentum to keep up this jump, right? Because he skips the whole section. And so what he does basically is he strafes and b-hops and all that. And the less time you spend on the ground, the more momentum you keep off of your jump, so then he can make the jump. It's really easy to pick up momentum off of just a few jumps. That's all you need.
So that'll be it. Thanks again.
I'm always happy to help. Yeah, more people playing parkour, the better.
Once again, I gotta thank Kid and the rest of the Phil Parkour clan because I did learn a lot. Now, obviously, there's having good movement and then there's actual in-game effectiveness, but I think it makes a lot of sense to kind of like lab out some of these techniques, and that way you're gonna have all the tools available to you. Besides, I think that Krunker is just a lot more fun that way. So those are the 4 levels of Krunker movement, and remember that these are not strict levels. It doesn't necessarily make someone a better player just because they have better movement. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely had a lot of fun making it, And if you haven't yet, please subscribe.